guys seen her in person
Oh,
before?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah?
She was at a basketball game she made me go to.
Oh, okay. That was probably with Adam Patterson, our lead trainer down here. Einstein, can you say hi? Oh, that's nice. Can you be more polite?
Sweetheart.
Hi, sweetheart. Can you say your name? That's right, Einstein. Very good.
I love her.
That is almost like a recorded voice.
So it's funny with some of the videos that go around on the internet, we'll see a bunch of comments saying that, oh, he's just a ventriloquist, that's not actually the bird making those sounds. And we're all just laughing down here like, if Adam was that talented, he would not be working here.
He'd be in Vegas.
Alright, but she has about 73 different sounds that she has on cue. Let's do some of your more fun ones that we don't typically hear in the show. Can you fall down? Oh, that sounded like a heart. What keeps you safe? Aflac. Nice little insurance plug. Party. Are we having a fiesta? Oh, very good. Now, birds are able to make sounds that we as humans aren't capable of making. So their structure in their neck is called the syrinx. It's very similar to our larynx that has our vocal cords in it. But while we're only able to make sounds when air is going out, birds are able to make sounds both when air is coming out as well as when it's going in. So can you do water? Very good.
Wow.
So water dripping right down the sink. So a lot of the sounds that she'll learn are just things that she hears around her, not things that we're meaning to teach her. But we'll go ahead and capture that in a cue word so that we can get her doing it only when we ask her to rather than all the time, which happens quite often. That's the thing. She'll start making a sound. If it's a lot of fun, she'll do it all the time. And that makes it really easy for us to get it on a cue. So sometimes a sound that she really likes will take maybe 2 weeks to get on cue, readily established. With other sounds that she doesn't really care for, it can take a few months.
No.
So Einstein, let's show off some of your newer ones. Can you go on patrol? That's right, little siren. So that one she loved making. It took her a week to learn that sound. One of my coworkers was trying to go more for Patrick from SpongeBob, the wee woo, but she wouldn't do it that deep of pitch. She kept going for the high one a lot faster. Another new one this year. Can you do tiger? Very good. Nice little tiger roar. That one she was not as readily doing. It took a couple months to get that. But she's super intelligent. African greys are known for that great mimicking ability, so it's not just Einstein that's super special. Her species is just great at mimicking sounds. Out in the wild, they'll use that not only to communicate with other members of their species, but they'll also use that to help scare off predators. There's birds here in North America, even here in Tennessee, that will do that as well, such as the mockingbird and the blue jay. They'll make calls, such as the red-tailed hawk call, that scare off other birds to prevent them from stealing their food. Now, Einstein, she's picked up some animal sounds. Can you do red wolf? Can you do wolf? How about an owl? And the songbirds? How about a chimpanzee? Good. Yeah, that's usually one of the favorites.
That's amazing.
So she learns a lot of these sounds just from us making them, but then other ones you can bring her to the different animal areas and she'll actually pick them up from the animals themselves. Like Einstein, can you do a rooster? Very good. That's one of the ones that she picked up from an animal itself rather than from us. I could definitely not make a rooster sound that well. Can you do pig? Can you do pig? How about a pig on a diet? Snorty little pig. Alright, what are some more of your fun sounds? Can you fly around in your spaceship? Shoot 'em with the lasers? Make 'em scream? Einstein, that sounds evil. Oh, very good, Einstein.
How old is she?
So she is 31 years old this year.
Oh, wow.
Her species can easily live up to about 60, so she's only around midlife now. She's been here at the zoo with us for about 26 years now.
Wow.
Yep, so she was an ex-pet. So Steve Martin, who founded the show down here at Zoo Knoxville, got her from that family. It was an elderly couple.
Okay.
They decided to go ahead and move their life onto the road. They got a motorhome. And didn't want to take her with them. And so he got her, went and saw her. They're like, yeah, she makes a few sounds. And then he started her with the show down here and decided to leave her here with us and has been with us ever since.
Wow.
She was one of the first 2 birds that came to the zoo for the show.
Okay. I was gonna say she's been here as long as I can remember.
Yep, 26 years now, so pretty special to us. Einstein, can you show off your other side? Oh, very good. So where these birds are found over in Africa, they're referred to as red tails because of that bright red tail. Here in the U.S., we don't refer to them as that because it would get a little bit confusing with the red-tailed hawk that we refer to as red tails, and so we call them the African gray parrot. Yeah.
She's like, I'll take my treats. Thanks.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
We've got lots of red tails. We have the red-tailed catfish too.
Exactly. So definitely an easier way to just refer to them as the African gray parrot. Now, even though they are very common in the pet trade, they're actually an endangered species. That's mainly due to the illegal pet trade. A lot of people hear that great mimicking ability, want them as pets, so poachers are going and stealing them at alarming rates. Luckily, there are groups that are going ahead and getting these birds when they're found, trying to be smuggled out of those African countries to developed countries such as the U.S. They're rehabilitating those birds and releasing them back out into the wild. A couple of years ago, there was an area that ended up having about 4,000 African greys that were caught being smuggled out of the area. There's only about 5,000 of those birds left in that area compared to the 4,000 that were trying to be smuggled out. So a lot of times they're grabbing them from the nest when they're still small enough and young enough that they can't defend themselves, and they're smuggling them out using some pretty interesting tactics. Sometimes they'll stuff the birds into water bottles, and they'll smuggle them out that way. Usually only about 10% of the birds that are taken from the wild can make it into the pet trade. About 90% of them pass away before being sold. That's pretty sad. Does that make you want to cry like a baby? No. Does that make you want to cry like a baby? Like a baby? No.
She's like, no.
So sometimes
I'm not
I
sad.
saw it in her eyes.
Oh, I
She
know.
was like, I'm not doing that.
it's funny, with each of us trainers that works down here, there's certain cues that she doesn't want to do with you, and you have to work pretty hard with her to get her to do those cues. Einstein, do you want to cry like a baby? Very good. There we go.
Aw.
She cries.
A lot of people, there's been studies that they've tried to prove that birds, like African greys, they're able to communicate with people via their language. Alex the parrot, if you guys have heard of him, he was an African gray. Irene Pepperberg had him and did different linguistic studies with him. She's a linguist by trade. She was the one that's trying to show that they're able to actually communicate with that language. They actually understand what they're putting forth. But a lot of times it's more picking up social cues. So Einstein will be sitting in her cage with us here in the office, and we'll be telling a story, and we'll get to the exciting part. She'll go, "Oh my god!" Or we'll be telling a joke and get to the punchline, and she'll start laughing.
Oh my gosh.
Are you hilarious? Oh, very good. Einstein. Now Einstein here, she loves music as well. We'll play different songs for her. She'll start dancing along, or she'll start singing along. Einstein, can you sing? How about some opera? Figaro, very good. Alright, let's see if she'll do her most complex sound for you guys. Wanna do happy birthday? I'm not asking you to spin. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Again. Again. Did you finish? Good girl. So that's definitely one of the hardest sounds that she does, just because it is so long. It takes a lot of air to get that out. So she's definitely sometimes more hesitant to do that. And so you'll notice that when I ask her for different sounds, I'm going ahead and rewarding her with sunflower seeds. So that's a special treat that she'll get just when we're working these vocalizations. It's not the best food for them. It's kind of like candy for them. So we don't want to give her too much, but it's a great way to go ahead and reward her for doing what I'm asking her to do. And that's how we work with all of our birds down here at the shows, through positive reinforcement. We're not going to force any of our birds to do something they don't want to do. Now, Einstein, you're pretty special, huh?
She is pretty special.
Amazing.
She's a pretty bird.
Yeah.
She's like, I know.
Are you beautiful? Are you beautiful? Yeah, that's right.
He's like, actually, I'm a superstar.
She definitely a superstar as well.
I feel like she is my soul animal.
That's the thing. She'll solicit. She'll make different vocalizations, just seeing what you want,
Yeah.
not even paying attention to what you're asking for, just doing whatever to just see what can I do that will get me food.
Yeah.
Can you wave? Oh, good girl.
Oh.
Do you guys have any questions about Einstein?
What about you? You have any questions?
No?
They're all mesmerized, that's why.
Yeah, it's easy.
Well, we'll go ahead and put Einstein back home, but are you guys afraid of birds? I'm guessing not.